It's over and I killed it!
What are you doing here?
Come on!
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand you out my little murder flyer.
It's
That's right. It's the next.
Yeah.
And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that, hold on. There's something I want to ask you. It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura.
Say what?
Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again, and
In
then...
other words,
Then I killed her. Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that.
hey,
I gotta tell you, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she'd violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened did this time, I owe you one.
what is this?
You owe them one?
Oopsie. Before you get all pissy potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Because, I mean, your lives are all on the line, right?
What is
I got, like,
The hell?
spot on Monokuma impression, gotta say.
He owes them one? I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind, after all.
You know who did it. I know you do. Because it's you, Hiro, or Toko. And I guarantee you're all three in on it.
It's a three-person.
Think about it. Hiro and Toko are in it together.
So after this trial, are you saying it's only gonna be us, Hina,
No.
and Kirigiri?
No, because there's only one blackened.
Or just, if it was all three of them, it's just gonna be
This
us
is
three.
all three gone. No, I think it was Toko who actually did the murder, but Hiro, like, knows about it and is in on the plan, and Byakuya is the one who formed the plan.
Maybe.
But in the end, Toko's the one who carried it out, and therefore, she's the one behind it. I just think that's how it's gonna end up going.
Right.
But, like, I'm obviously
I can
due
see.
to his...
I can see your line of thinking.
Yeah.
Working for the mastermind, after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. Time to start investigating. Want to be angry at someone? Be angry at whoever kills Sakura.
Anyway,
Right
Right.
now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead.
Well, here's the thing, though. At this point in time, we are in a situation where no one can guard the corpse, except probably Hina.
Hina can guard the corpse, and we can definitely trust her because, of course, she wouldn't kill Sakura.
Right.
So that takes care of that problem.
So, unless someone else comes in and kills Hina.
Well,
But I don't think she's gonna
there
die.
can't be more than 2 murders. So if we can't do that, we're all dead.
Right, there can't be more than 2
Yeah.
murders, but there is only one person murdered, and as per blackened.
Then we'll just check up on her every now and then, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the crime scene.
Yeah, let's decide who stands guard this time.
I'll do it.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
That's fair.
Hina's guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
Oh, so Kyoko can't help us search this time.
Why is he placing Kyoko as the guard?
Because she's one of the prime investigators. If she figures out everything, he's gonna be blamed. Think about it. If he was behind the murder, and she figures it out because he knows she's really good at solving things, although he could also put us in charge of it because we've proven ourselves in the past.
Well, not as much as her,
But not nearly as much as her.
So, are you
We've-
saying Byakuya thinks she's the bigger threat?
Yeah. Between
Okay.
me and Kirigiri, I'm definitely the lesser threat because
Right.
I'm usually bumped ahead by either him or Kirigiri.
And if he's the black end and she's guarding, there's no one to bump you ahead.
Yeah, exactly, because
Right.
he's not going to help us. In fact, he'd probably point us in the wrong direction.
And Hina's guarding. The only other person we could trust is Hiro, and he's dumb.
Right. We'd
He-
be left with
he's
Hiro
dumb.
and Toko and himself,
He's dumb.
who are
and
the
or
3 people
Monokuma.
who are suspected.
Right. Devious.
what?
You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order? Who the fuck are you to be ordering Kirigiri around, bitch? You get out of my sight.
Kyoko has better things to
That's
do.
fine.
Oh, or she'll agree with it. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Okay, we gotta become the Sherlock to this group now. Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say.
Which is...
Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. None of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. That would even the odds, you know?
What?
It's your
What if you killed Sakura? I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her. Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. Care what you say, I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here.
They're already in the room.
Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise? I won't ask you to let all of us in, just let me.
What?
Well, you won't investigate anyways.
Yeah,
You're
Hiro
both-
won't investigate. Toko's useless.
You're both useless anyway. Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyways. And you, Hiro, do you really object? You're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
Weird.
Then it's decided.
What are you saying?
Nothing's decided.
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but we should agree to his request.
Hey,
We have to find out who killed Sakura, for those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you aren't allowed to touch her.
Naturally, who wouldn't want to touch a filthy dead body?
listen.
That's enough fighting.
We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. At least with her here guarding it, she can still check out the crime scene pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, she can check out the crime scene, which is... I don't think there's going to be a lot of evidence in this one.
Well, like I said, there's blood on the ground.
Yeah, there was blood on the ground, which... She could have coughed that up because of the poison. I do definitely think
That
it's
was
poison.
a lot of blood to cough up.
Okay,
That
I
was-
didn't see
That
any
was
blood.
a lot of blood. Everyone keep this in mind. All of us face execution if we get this wrong. See,
Okay,
it's
yeah,
back
that
there.
is quite a bit of blood.
That's
Okay.
a lot of blood.
It's not a matter of hoping we can
And if she
do
spit it out, you think it'd be dripped on her
Yeah.
mouth. And also, there's blood behind her chair. You see that as well? There's two bits of blood.
Yeah,
everywhere. There's multiple bits of blood everywhere.
Okay.
Did the Monokuma file state an exact...
We haven't read the Monokuma file
We
yet.
need to read it. It might state an exact cause of death.
Yeah. Better check the Monokuma file before anything else. Victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around noon.
What were we doing around noon?
We
Because that was
slept.
midday.
Remember, we went to our room, we were tired, and then...
Or was it while we were taking
Alter Ego, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. Another one to the head?
Strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted.
However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from a violent
Okay,
vomiting
so
of
she did
blood.
vomit blood.
Yeah.
But was it because of the hit to the head?
Hey,
It wasn't from the hit to the head. I think
I think this case might be a challenge.
Reason being, I think it was poison, which is going to be hard to track. Why is that?
so
The only way into the rec room is... Yeah, this is probably
Door
where they
we just
explain
came
the
through,
mystery.
and that door has been jammed shut with the chair from inside the rec room, which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So the door was blocked from the inside, and there was no way in or out till we broke the window. There's like zero escape, right?
in other words,
This is a classic locked room murder.
Yeah. See, this is where they explain it.
I see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books, but it couldn't really happen in real life, and right before our very eyes like
hey,
this.
Are you curious to hear more what a locked room murder entails?
Sure, if you don't mind.
that's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means the killer commits this crime, then goes through some special method to seal the room. Mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations.
So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed.
In other
Basically,
words,
the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
However,
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit.
Right.
There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it.
Right. Cross that one off the
it's
list.
true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up.
What do you mean by that?
In other
They
words,
stay hidden. When the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group.
Fair. Although no one... Yeah, definitely no one came out of the room when we were here.
The first one to appear was Hero, isn't it? They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that.
Like it could have been possible, maybe. But we were in here, and there's not a lot of room to hide. There's nothing to hide behind here.
Let's see,
It's
there's
true.
a thing over there. And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all.
Not a locked room?
in other words,
By that I mean there's actually an alternate escape route somewhere within the room.
Like the hidden door we found in the bathroom.
Maybe. You see this a lot in novels, but it's generally not possible.
Think we can cross that one off too?
indeed,
I believe so, yeah. When it comes to locked room mysteries, there are 4 possibilities.
Then Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems the most likely? It would have been the first or fourth one in this case.
The
It's
contraption to closing the door while already outside, or
The killer was already in here.
killer was already in here. I
Can't really say.
Let's see, there's a pool table, they could have been hiding underneath that or something.
We would have noticed it.
Well, not when there's a dead body and all that excitement going on. You might not be
True.
able to notice it.
True.
There's a magazine stand, maybe they hid behind that. There's also like there's a locker in the room as well. An
I need to
empty
concentrate
locker,
on this.
someone could have hid inside that.
Possibly.
Like Alien Isolation styled.
Well, we'll look.
There's also, that's the broken glass.
Yeah, that's a broken glass. I don't know what that is, though. We smacked it with a broom, not whatever that was.
Well, we need to start investigating. See, that's blood. There's blood
There's
back there.
definitely a
There's the
lot of
magazine.
blood. There's locker. So yeah, someone definitely could have hidden in the locker until...
It's empty, so there's definitely enough room for a person to be there.
Right. Handkerchief on the floor
It just looks
possibly
like-
knocked her out?
The handkerchief on the floor. Is that when she coughed up blood, perhaps?
Possibly. Let's investigate.
Looks like
Kind of
there's
a
some.
wrapper.
Oh, it's a wrapper. Okay.
That's... Do you recognize it, Hina?
Well,
I mean, I gave it to her. It's a candy wrapper. Got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. Thought it might help calm her down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. Found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we got into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. Made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. Really like them that much. But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they've lost all their flavor.
Polka dot candy wrapper. It just looks like she's about to play an awesome game of Bakugan.
Hell, what's it called?
Bakuganen?
No,
Something like
it's,
that. Byakuya.
Yeah, it's Byakuya. No, Bakugan is like an anime.
Oh, okay. It's some sort of board game right there. I don't remember what it's called.
Othello.
Othello. It looks like she's about to play a sick game of Othello. Look at the anime.
There are shards of glass.
glass. Oh, that's not blood. Shards of glass. Okay.
So, gathered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on.
Glass is all red.
Well, yeah, blood. There are top section bottle. Right. Okay, so that
This
it was a
originally
bottle.
And it was used to be a red bottle. Because I doubt you could cover that much glass and blood
Right.
and not have any on the
So it was a
floor.
red bottle. Possibly there's a label somewhere on it. Something else around near the glass.
It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand.
And it's Monokuma.
It's a Monokuma figure. Holding a rook. Or not a rook, a knight. I thought chess, and the first thing I thought was knight.
All different kinds of magazine. That's not what I wanted to investigate, friend.
There's
Blood
a blood
stain
stain in
from
front of the
the
magazine shelf.
Kind
It's from Sakura, but that doesn't make sense.
Why is it so far away from where she died?
That's a good point. And it's not on a carpet or anything, so you can't move it.
Right. Oh, that's probably what it was. She got smacked with alcohol.
There are 4 red
There were
bottles
definitely
lined up
5
on the shelf.
earlier. In fact, I think there were 6. Oh, and they all have a rook inside it. There. That solves that mystery.
And inside each bottle is some kind of Monokuma figure. Pawn, castle...
The queen and the rook are missing. How'd they get the figures inside the bottle is true.
The queen and the knight, you mean.
Yeah, queen and the knight. Yeah.
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle.
You know where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Yeah, maybe I have.
In other words,
Version of that,
Monokuma's
a
version.
Monokuma bottle, if you will. There's 2 of them missing, though. Bottle sitting on the shelf. Monokuma figure found on the ground, and it's a red bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? Shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that, so I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. That definitely was the weapon, but there's a second one missing.
Investigate the locker, perhaps?
Could have hidden in there. Yeah, and it is open. Why would it be open? Handprints on the inside.
why?
What's a handprint doing here? Looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
Looks quite fresh, too. Keep in mind, also, who changes because of dust? Genocide Jill.
Right, and she was acting strange on the day of the murder.
Uh-huh. Say something was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. Maybe the killer hidden in here until the locker was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group?
Wrong.
Fortunately, that's not a possibility. Why not?
Hey,
Think back, before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Locker was already open. Damn it!
indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. So then, what does this handprint mean? Either A, Sakura was in the locker for whatever reason, or
Could
B...
she fit into that locker?
Yeah, definitely don't think that.
She's a bit too big for it.
Which leaves me with B, someone hid in the locker and killed her without her knowing they were in the room.
But then how would she leave?
I don't know. But that's still important for whatever reason.
Right, yeah. That's
In fact, they held the bottle. Maybe she was poisoned, puked up over there, the vomit, came to sit down for a minute, ate the candy, person pops out of locker, smacks with bottle.
Right, and that was the finishing blow?
Yeah, that was the finishing blow. Like, she probably could have gotten over the poison, and they were just like, fuck it.
Right. Anything else? We can talk to some of the people in here.
We could talk to some of the people, there's a clock.
We can investigate the broken glass.
Yeah, what is this? There, yep, okay. The protein.
Protein
It's a
X. So
container
that's a
of
protein
protein.
drink, not poison.
Yeah, but if it had been poisoned, and she drank it,
Yeah, but...
and in fact they were right in the same room, anyone could have gone in there,
Right,
combined the
but-
poison, and then put it down.
With that kind of person, you'd need a lot of poison to put her down.
Mm-hmm.
So you think they poisoned her a little bit, and then someone else finished the job with the glass bottle?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it the same person?
Well, like you were saying, it would take a lot to put her down, and then obviously he didn't say that she died from poison, so the smack on the head was the finishing blow, but they needed to incapacitate her first to where she couldn't fight back,
Right.
because
Okay.
she is a big person,
Right.
and the 3 people who would have killed her are very tiny.
Right. Interesting.
So,
Protein drink and it's empty. Must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. Mentioned it more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you.
See, in fact, she probably started feeling sick because of the poison, either in the candy, although no one else had access to that candy.
Yeah, she wouldn't have poisoned her, so
Right.
the candy's pretty safe.
The candy's pretty safe. That's just a red herring. But she wasn't feeling well. Drinks her protein drink, but the protein drink slowly was making her worse instead of making her better.
Right.
Still, the protein can, it's got a label on it that says Chem A2. Reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff. Must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
just a second.
That's strange. What is it?
Hey,
Got around the can, it's glass. Light blue glass, that must be parts of the window I broke to get inside. They're also underneath the can. Why does that matter? Say for sure, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it's become an important clue later on.
What do you think?
Well, then glass would have had to have been shattered in the room beforehand.
But how would that make any sense?
That wouldn't make any sense unless someone managed to repair the window. But I don't see how anyone could do that in this situation.
Right.
I'm thinking back to everything I know.
Interesting indeed. The glass is underneath that can. Even if there's glass there before and we busted the window afterwards, that should mean that glass should have fallen on top of it.
Mm.
An interesting clue indeed. I think that was all we could find in this room. We want to finish talking to people.
Oh yeah, we haven't mentioned anything to anyone yet. Yeah, I can't interact with any... I haven't looked at the actual body.
Yeah, we need to investigate it again. Drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. It's obvious evidence of the blow to the head. Wouldn't have any problems believing that's what killed her.
But she is a tough person.
But according to the Monokuma file, she also had vomited blood.
Which is evidence of the poisoning.
And you can see... okay, so there was blood on her lips. I just didn't see it. Would have caused her to vomit blood.
She hadn't suffered any other injuries.
But poison's not an injury that you
Right.
suffer.
Maybe her getting on the head was somehow caused her to start vomiting blood. Not a chance.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location.
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree?
No, I don't think I call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely had to be connected to why she died. Poison, yeah. I guessed that way before this class trial even started.
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Yakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It has to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto?
See, it very well could have still been a suicide, though. I don't think that is the case, but it could have been. That's the one thing that this game hasn't touched on yet, is what if someone commits suicide?
Yeah, but then who's the black?
No one.
I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more.
Let me help you find out more. See, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where, right here in the rec room.
Sakura had asked all three of them to meet with her.
The plot thickens. After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together. Well, eventually she went off on her own, but when I saw her again after that, she told me, she said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then. Telling you the truth, I heard it right from Sakura herself, and I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. This is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. But we have her account. So it had, well, we already know it had to have been one of those three, but...
It had to have been one of those three because she called them into the room.
Right, it had to have been one of them. And me and Kirigiri had an alibi.
Right.
I was sleeping, Kirigiri was
And we also
doing something.
weren't against her, and it'd be impossible for
right.
us to murder
And
her.
Hina definitely didn't do it.
Right.
Everyone knows Hina didn't do
Yeah.
it. When we come to the rec
If she
room at
didn't do
noon-
it, this is a great
Cover
cover-up.
up.
And she's also heartless.
Okay,
Okay, let's start talking to people.
However,
Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
it's true.
She certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her?
Poison and hiding in a locker.
You make it sound so impressive. I wonder, did someone get the upper hand of her?
No, they didn't.
They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
That would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her.
But if she expected all three of them to be here, that they didn't really do a good job of that.
Right.
What do you want? You're bothering me.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Make it quick.
Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room?
So you found out. Interesting.
Then it's true.
I did receive a note to that effect, yes. What fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster?
Unless that fool set a trap instead. It said by noon. We don't know when they received the note. It would have had to have been before noon. So you could have set up any trap you wanted, i.e. person hiding in locker.
Right. That being said, this is also the guy that hid in the cafeteria with everyone he hates just to avoid her.
Yeah, so I didn't say he hid in the locker. He got Toko to do it for him.
So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped that note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all.
That's a lie. You're looking at her now.
Thanks. Said
Is
you
that
didn't go
the
see her?
truth?
Is that the truth? Prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
You're all finished. Please remove yourself from my sight.
Okay, thanks.
Nice.
We have his account, however, I think we'll find something that contradicts it. Door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence of the mounting having been tampered with. Notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. No evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself.
There's no evidence.
How about the chair itself? Because this would be the chair that we pushed out of the way somehow, right?
The chair was shoved up against the doorknob so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair has anything special done to it.
Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. It kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. There was no evidence of that door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the lock from inside, not from the outside.
Listen.
If you finish with your general investigation, yeah, I think so for the most part.
So then,
Probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
listen to me.
Well, I've decided you'll go at my place.
She decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to talk to the others, and then I can tell her what we heard.
We need to confirm with Hiro and Toko that they, they didn't get the note.
Right.
Or that they did and didn't go and ripped it up or whatever. You might have to press
Yeah, I
circle
might have
to
to
get out
do
of
it
this
this
room.
way to get out.
Because the door itself is investigation.
Right. They probably went to their rooms, so
Let's go
Yeah,
have a nice little chat with them.
we can chat with them, and I also need to check the chemical room because someone might have just labeled the chemical A2, I think is what it was called, with the protein thing, and Sakura just didn't notice it. She might have just drank a whole thing of poison.
They did say earlier that it'd be hard to mix up the two.
Right. Yoko. Mondo. My room. Sayaka. Byakuya. Toko should be right here, right? Yeah, okay. Bruh. What the fuck?
Who's there?
Who's there?
The most negative aura I've ever felt.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obvious noise slithered out into the hall.
Slithered.
What do you want?
You wanted to talk to me about something, right? The fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
Well,
Know what you're talking about?
Sakura already told me she had asked to meet with him.
Wanted to meet with Master too?